this lesson, you'll learn how to play Somewhere Only We Know, using your choice of strumming or fingerpicking patterns. Now, I'll be using my tenor with low G tuning throughout the lesson, but feel free to follow along with high G tuning as well. Now let's begin by looking at how to play the chords in this song. Our first chord is A. For A, we have our index finger on the first fret of the third string and our middle finger on the second fret of the fourth string. Then we have A over G sharp. For this chord, we're going to cover the first fret of strings 3 and 4. So moving from A into A over G sharp, you can either move your middle finger back one fret, or you can place your index finger on the fourth string and middle finger on the third string if this is more comfortable. Next we have B minor. B minor is a bar chord, so we're going to bar the second fret across all 4 strings using our index finger, and we'll place down our ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. You can also use your middle finger against your index finger for additional support. Next we have E sus4. For this chord, we're going to use our ring finger and middle finger on the 4th fret of strings 3 and 4. Then to go from E sus4 to E, we'll keep this chord shape and we'll add our pinky to the 4th fret of the 2nd string and our index finger to the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Next we have F sharp minor. For this chord, we have our index finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string and our middle finger and ring finger on the 2nd fret of strings 4 and 2. Now we move to C sharp minor. Now if you remember our B minor chord shape, we're going to move this chord shape up 2 frets. So now we're barring the 4th fret across all 4 strings, and we have our ring finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string. Now we have our standard D chord. For D, we have our ring finger, middle finger, and index finger covering the 2nd fret of strings 2, 3, and 4. Now to go from D to D6, we'll keep this chord shape and we'll add our pinky to the 2nd fret of the 1st string. An alternative here is to bar all 4 strings across the 2nd fret. Now to go from D6 to E6, we'll move this chord shape up 2 frets. And here once again, if you prefer, you can bar all 4 strings across the 4th fret. Next we'll look at our strumming version of the song, starting with 2 strumming patterns. Our first strumming pattern covers 2 beats, and we'll play down strums on beats 1 and 2. Here's how it sounds played slowly on an A chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, and at a faster tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2. Our second pattern covers 4 beats, and here's how it sounds, first at a slow tempo. Tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To apply our strumming patterns to the song, we'll use pattern 2 on all of the chords in standard font. These chords are held for 4 beats, and we'll use pattern 1 on the chords in bold. These chords are held for 2 beats. So as an example, let's look at the first two lines of verse 1. We start on an A chord with pattern 2, then we go to A over G sharp, still on pattern 2. Then in line 2 we go to B minor, then we go to E sus4, and this chord is in bold, so we'll play pattern 1, and then we have an E chord in bold, so we'll play pattern 1 again. Now let's count lines 1 and 2 at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lines 3 and 4 are played the same way as lines 1 and 2. Now let's take a look at the pre-chorus. Here we're going back to pattern 2, starting on F sharp minor, then we go to C sharp minor, then we go down to D, and now we change to pattern 1 for D6, and we end line 2 on pattern 1 on our E chord. So here's how we count the rhythm of lines 1 and 2 of the pre-chorus at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lines 3 and 4 of the pre-chorus are played the same way as lines 1 and 2. So now let's take a quick look at the chorus. In the chorus we start on B minor with pattern 2, then we go to pattern 1 on our A chord, and then pattern 1 on E. We'll play the first 3 lines the same way using the same chord progression. And then in line 4 we go to our D6 chord with pattern 2, and then to E6, still on pattern 2, and then we'll go back and forth between D6 and E6 2 more times. So here's how we count lines 4 and 5 of the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember here that you can either use all 4 fingers for the D6 and E6 chords, or you can play them as bar chords. In the final line of the final chorus, I like to play an arpeggio or a broken chord for the last 3 chords, starting on E6, then D6, and then ending on A. If you're enjoying this lesson, please show my channel some love by giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, then welcome. I'm Lara. I'm a musician and a composer, and I love to teach song tutorials and fingerstyle arrangements for all levels. If you'd like to support my teaching and my channel by joining my Patreon community, you'll gain access to hundreds of downloads, including song sheets, fingerstyle tabs, and songbooks. You'll find the link down below in the video description. Next, we'll look at 2 fingerpicking patterns and how to apply them to the song. For both of our fingerpicking patterns, we'll use our thumb, index finger, middle finger, and ring finger on strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. So here's our first pattern that covers 2 beats, played slowly on an A chord. 1 and 2 and 1. faster tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2. To play this pattern, we'll start on the 4th string, then the 3rd string, and then we'll pick strings 1 and 2 together. Now let's look at pattern 1 with high G tuning. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and at a faster tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2. Our second pattern covers 4 beats, and here's how it sounds at a slow tempo, still on an A chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and at a faster tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To play this pattern, we'll begin by picking strings 4 and then 3, then strings 1 and 2, back to strings 4 and 3, and we'll finish the pattern by picking strings 1 and 2 together. Now let's look at pattern 2 with high G tuning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and at a faster tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to apply our finger picking patterns to the song the same way we applied our strumming patterns, using pattern 2 on the chords in standard font and pattern 1 on the chords in bold. So starting with verse 1, we'll play pattern 2 on A, and then pattern 2 on A over G sharp. Then in line 2, we'll go to B minor, and then we go to E sus4. Now this chord is in bold, so we'll play pattern 1, and then pattern 1 on E. So let's count lines 1 and 2 at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lines 3 and 4 of verse 1 are played the same way as lines 1 and 2. So let's take a look at our pre-chorus. Here we're going back to pattern 2 in the first line on our F sharp minor chord. Then we go up to C sharp minor, then down to our D chord, and now we have D6 in bold, so we go back to pattern 1. And then we have our E chord also in bold. Now let's count the rhythm of lines 1 and 2 of the pre-chorus at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lines 3 and 4 of the pre-chorus are played the same way as lines 1 and 2. Now let's take a look at our chorus. Lines 1, 2, and 3 are played the same way. So we'll start on pattern 2 on B minor. Then we go to pattern 1 on A. And then pattern 1 on E. In line 4, we'll go to our D6 chord, moving back to pattern 2. And then we'll go to E6. And we'll alternate between these two chords 2 more times in lines 4 and 5 to finish the chorus. Now keep in mind here that you can either use all 4 fingers for these 2 chord shapes, or you can play them as bar chords. So here's how we count the rhythm of lines 4 and 5, alternating between D6 and E6 at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the final line of the final chorus, we're slowing down the tempo. And for these last 3 chords, if you're finger picking the song, you can either pick all 4 strings on each chord, or you can play an arpeggio on each chord, like we did in our strumming version. I'm curious to hear which is your favorite way to play this song, using the strumming patterns or the finger picking patterns, or perhaps both. Let me know below in the comments. Next we're moving into our play along, where you can play and sing the entire song along with me. I'm going to alternate between the strumming and finger picking patterns, but for an easier version, you can choose just strumming or just finger picking for the whole song. 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope you've enjoyed learning these beautiful patterns to play somewhere only we know. Have fun practicing, and thanks for watching.